In this video, I would like to go over some more basic definitions in graph theory. So let me start with the definition of a multigraph pseudograph. So here what we are going to do is we are going to generalize the concept of graph by including multiple edges and loops. Okay, so let me start with multigraph. So a multigraph is a graph which is permitted to have multiple edges. Okay, and these multiple edges are also called parallel edges, and these edges have the same end nodes. Okay, let me give an example. Okay, let's consider a graph with 4 vertices. Okay, and let me introduce these edges, and let me label the vertices as A, B, C, D. Okay, so here we can see that this graph is not a simple graph. Okay, so here we have these parallel or multiple edges. Okay, so these kind of edges are called multiple edges or parallel edges. So this is an example of what is called a multigraph. It is permitted to have multiple edges which look something like this. Okay, in a simple graph we do not permit this kind of edges. Okay, and similarly we have what is called a pseudograph. It is a multigraph that is permitted to have loops. Okay, so let me give an example. Let me use the same graph as before. And let me label them as A, B, C, D. Okay, so this is a multigraph. In a pseudograph we permit loops, okay, which look something like this. Okay, a loop is an edge that originates and ends at the same vertex. Okay, so here we have two loops. Okay, this is an example what is called a loop. Okay, so this is how a pseudograph look. So this is an example of a multigraph, and this is an example of a pseudograph. Okay, so let me formally define those graphs, multigraph and pseudograph. So a multigraph is a triple VEF, okay, where V is a set of vertices and E is a set of edges, same as that for simple graph. But here the difference is that we have this function f. Okay, normally this function is called a labeling function. So labeling means it is going to assign some kind of labels to each edge. Okay, we will see why we need such a labeling. So this function is a function from the edge set to two subsets of U and V. Okay, and here there is one more condition, so it will become very clear, okay, when we go through this example. Okay, here we do not permit U to be equal to V. Okay, so anyway, the multigraph, it's a triplet or a triple VEF, where V is a set of vertices, E is a set of edges, and there is one more entry called the labeling function. Okay, defined from the edge to from the edges to two element subset of vertices. Okay, so to make this definition clear, let me go through an example. Okay, so let's consider this example. So the vertex set contains these 4 elements. So we have 4 nodes, and suppose that they are labeled in this way: A, B, C, D, and here we have 6 edges. Okay, and the function corresponding to this graph is defined in this table. Okay, so here this f of E1 is set AC. Okay, so it means it is also equal to CA. So the meaning of this f of E1 is that, okay, we have these two vertices A and C. Okay, A and C, and this corresponds to an edge, an undirected edge between A and C. Okay, so we can see that this edge corresponds to the edge AC or CA. Both are same. Since here we are dealing with undirected graphs. Okay, so that's the meaning of f of E1. Okay, and here f of E1 is set AC, f of E2 is set AC, f of E3 is set AB, f of E4 is set CA, and so forth. Okay, so let me complete this graph by introducing the edges. So the edges follow this particular function. Okay, so let's consider edge E1. F of E1 is AC, that means there will be an edge between A and C. Okay, and this label as E1. Let's consider E2. F of E2 is also AC. So now we have this multiple edges or parallel edges. Okay, and in order to distinguish between these edges, we have this labeling function. Okay, that's why it is called this labeling function. So now we can distinguish this edge from this edge because they have two different labels, E1 and E2. Okay, that was not the case in simple graphs. Okay, so let's consider E3. F of E3 is AB, so we have this edge and it is labeled E3. E4 is set CB, so we have this edge, so that is E4. F of E5 is BD. Okay, so we have this edge E5, and f of E6 is also BD, so we have this edge. That is also a multiple edge, that is E6. Okay, so this is how this graph looks like. Okay, and here suppose that we have two edges E1 and E2 element of E such that f of E1 equal to f of E2, then we say that E1 and E2 are multiple or parallel edges. So here we can see that f of E1 is equal to set AC, which is equal to f of E2. Okay, and that says E1 and E2 are multiple or parallel edges. Okay, and similarly you can also see that f of E5 is equal to f of E6, so E5 and E6 are also parallel edges. Okay, so this is how we formally define a multigraph. Okay, so let's formally define a pseudograph. So pseudograph is also a triplet VEF, where V is a set of vertices and E is a set of edges, and we have this labeling function F. Okay, and here the function is defined in this way, from the edges to a two element subset. And here the difference between this definition and the previous definition is that here we have this condition V not equal to V, and here we do not have that condition. Okay, so that condition corresponds to, if V is equal to V, that condition corresponds to a loop. Okay, it will become very clear when we work out this example. Okay, so let's go through this example. Okay, consider this graph with vertex set A, B, C, D, edge set E1, E2 up to E8. So we have 8 edges, and our labeling function is shown in this table. Okay, so let me complete. Let me draw this graph. Okay, so let me label these vertices as A, B, C, D. Okay, and we have 8 edges, and the edges are, or the edges follow this function F. Okay, so let me introduce edges into this graph. So let's consider E1. F of E1 is AC, so that's it. There will be an edge between A and C. F of E2 is also AC, so this is E1, this is E2. F of E3 is AB, so this is E3. F of E4 is CB, this is E4. F of E5 is BD. F of E6 is also BD. Okay, F of E7. So in this case we can see that F of E7 is this set a singleton set A. So that corresponds to something like A. Okay, and that corresponds to a loop. Okay, since set A is nothing but A. Okay, so because of that reason we have this loop here, and it is labeled E7, and E8 it's also singleton set. Okay, that corresponds to a self loop here. Okay, so that is E8. Okay, so this is how this graph pictorially represented. Okay, so here again you can see that if E is an element of E, set that f of E is equal to UU, because we simply denote it by this set, singleton set. So we say E is a loop. So for in this example we can see that f of E7 is set A. Okay, and that corresponds to a loop. Okay, okay, this loop, and that says E7 corresponds to a loop, and because of that reason we can also see that E8 is also a loop. Okay, so this is how we formally define a pseudograph. Okay, now we need to redefine the notion of degrees. Okay, the degrees in a multigraph and pseudograph will be somewhat different from that of a simple graph. So let me give the definition of the degrees in a multigraph and pseudograph. So it is somewhat similar to a simple graph, the number of edges incident with a particular vertex, and here there is an exception, and the exception is that a loop at a vertex contributes 2 to the degree of that vertex. Okay, so that's the very important distinction between the degree of a simple graph and a multigraph. Loops contributes 2 to the degree of that particular vertex, and again the degree of a vertex B element of B is denoted by degree dig sub G B, where G is the graph under consideration. Okay, so let me give an example. So we have the pseudograph G, and let me label the vertices as A, B, C, D. Now we have these multiple edges and these loops. Okay, so let me write down the degree of each vertex in this graph. So degree of G of A, it is equal to 1, 2, 3, 3 plus 2. Since we have this loop, a loop contributes 2 to the degree. Okay, so the degree of this vertex A is 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, and degree of B is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and degree of C is 1, 2, 3, and degree of D is the 1, 2, and since we have a loop it contributes to 4. So this is the degrees of each vertex corresponding to this graph. Okay, here again we can see that okay, these kind of graphs do satisfy the handshaking lemma. So if you add the degrees you get 9, 12, 16. Okay, so if you add up the degree you get 16, and again you can see that that is equal to 2 times the number of edges, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 2 times 8, where this 8 is nothing but the cardinality of this edge set. Okay, so okay, these graphs do satisfy the handshaking lemma. So handshaking lemma is a generalized one. Okay, and here again you can see that In this graph we have only two vertices of 4 degree and so forth. Okay, the thing is that okay, these kind of graphs do satisfy the handshaking lemma. Okay, so that is how we define the degrees in multigraphs and pseudograph. And here the most important thing is that when you consider the loop, it contributes 2 to the degree. Okay, so remember that particular thing. Okay, so let's move to what are called director graph. Okay, director graph are also very important in graph theory. So a director graph, it is also a tuple VE, consists of set of vertices and set of edges. And here the important difference between director graph and simple graph is that the edges are directed. Okay, the directed means okay, there will be a definite direction. So in this case, suppose that we have two vertices A and B, and if there is an edge between A and B, so we assign a direction to each and every edge. So we can see that okay, this edge is directed towards B. Okay, so that's what this directed edge means. And mathematically, we can say that these are subsets of V cross V. Okay, in the case of simple graph, E are subsets of two element subsets of V. So here E are subsets of V cross V. For example, in this case, we denote this edge as this ordered pair AB. Okay, and since we are considering with ordered pair, AB is not equal to BA. Okay, so that's the difference between directed graph and undirected graph. So in the case of undirected graph, we denote an edge something like this, and we can see that set AB is equal to set BA. Okay, so here we have this very important difference here. Okay, we are considering ordered pairs. In directed graph, we are considering only subsets in undirected graph. Okay, so these are ordered pairs of vertices. So let me give an example of a directed graph. Let me label the vertices as A, B, C, D. Okay. Okay, let the graph be G. So this is an example of a direct graph. We can see that I assigned directions to each and every edge. And here again we have a loop. Okay, and if you want, you can also add one more edge here. But the thing is that it must be in the reverse direction. Okay. So that's what this note says. A directed graph or digraph allows loops and allows two edges joining the same vertex. But the thing is that it must go in the opposite direction. Okay. So let me formally define this graph. So here the V set contains those four vertices A, B, C, D, and the edge set contains all those ordered pairs. Okay, so let's consider this edge. So it is directed from A to B. So here we have this ordered pair A, B. Okay, so let's consider this edge. So it is directed from B to C. So we have this ordered pair B, C. So for this loop, we have this ordered pair C, comma C. So remember, E is a subset of V cross V. So it will also contains V cross V also contains C, C, D, D, etc. Okay. And so let's consider this edge, which is directed from D to C. So we have this ordered pair DC. Okay, and we have this edge directed towards A. So we have this ordered pair DA. And one more edge, we have this ordered pair A, D. Okay, I think we are done. Okay, let me see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 edges. Okay. So this is how we formally define this director graph. Okay. So this is how we formally define a director graph. It's a tuple where V is the set of vertices and E is a set of edges, and here the thing is that E is a subset of B cross B. It's an ordered pair. Okay, and another important thing is that here we allow loops and allow multiple edges. The thing is that the multiple edges, okay, anyway, the edges are labeled, they must go in the opposite direction. Okay, and some more notations. So suppose that we have this edge b1 b2, okay, and by definition we write something like this, the ordered pair b1 b2. We have this directed edge from b1 to b2. Can we call this vertex the initial vertex? Okay, the initial vertex or the source vertex or the tail vertex. Okay, and we call this vertex the terminal vertex. Okay, the terminal vertex or the destination vertex, sink vertex, or the head vertex. Okay, and here again we say that okay, v1 is okay, anyway the adjacency will be somewhat different here. Okay, anyway it is clear here. Okay, so similarly we can have what is called a directed multigraph. So a directed multigraph is also a triple VEF, where V is a set of vertices, D is a set of edges, and F is the labeling function. And here the labeling function is defined in this way. F is a function from the edge set to V cross V. Okay, so I think it will become clear when we go through this example. So let me go through this example and draw this graph. So we have 4 vertices, so we have 4 dots here. Okay, and these vertices are labeled A, B, C, D. Okay, and here we have 10 edges, and the labeling function is defined in this table. Okay, so let's complete the graph. So here f of E1 is the ordered pair AC, not the set AC, it's the ordered pair. So there is a definite direction here. Okay, so we have this edge from A to C, and the direction is from A towards C. Okay, and f of E2 is CA, and here the direction is from C to A. F of E3 is AB, and this edge is directed towards B. So this is E1, this is E2, this is E3. F of E4 is CB, so it is directed towards this thing. So this is E4. E5 is BD, so it is directed towards D. So this is E5. E6 is DB, so it is directed towards B. So this is E6, and E7 is the ordered pair AA, and that corresponds to a directed loop from A to A. Okay, and E8 is also a loop, so it is a directed loop from D to D. So this is E8. E9 is a directed edge from A to B. Okay, this edge. So this is E9, and one from B to, okay, one from B to D. So that is E10. Okay, so this is how we represent this graph pictorially. Okay, so here the edges E1 and E2 are multiple edges if it satisfies this condition. If f of E1 equal to f of E2, that corresponds to a multiple edge in a directed multigraph. Okay, so here we can see that, okay, f of E5 is equal to f of E10, which is equal to BD. Okay, so that says E5, E10, there are multiple edges. Okay, so this is how we define a directed multigraph. Okay, so it is a triple VEF, and those quantities are defined in this manner. Okay, so I think it is very clear how to define a directed multigraph. Okay, so the degree is somewhat different in the case of directed graphs. So in the directed graph G, we have two kinds of degrees, in degrees and out degrees. So in degree of a vertex V is denoted like this: degree sub G superscript minus is the number of edges with V as the terminal vertex. Okay, and similarly we have what is called an out degree. Out degree of a vertex V is denoted by dig sub G super plus. So this minus corresponds to in degree, plus corresponds to out degree. Out degree of V is the number of V as the initial vertex. Okay, so let me give an example. Okay, so let's consider this graph and let the labels of the vertices be A, B, C, D. Okay, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edges. Okay, so let me write down the in degree and out degree of each vertex. Degree, so this is our graph G. So if we know the graph under consideration, so we can avoid this G. Okay, so let me write something like this. The in degree of vertex A. So by definition, in degree of A is the number of edges with A as the terminal vertex. Okay, so if you consider A, we can see that this edge has A as A as the terminal one. Okay, so that says that the in degree of A is 1. So similarly, the in degree of B is equal to, okay, so this edge terminates in B. Okay, so because of the reason, the in degree of B is 1. Okay, and the in degree of C is also 1, and the in degree of D is equal to, so here we can see that, okay, only one edge terminates at D. Okay, so the in degree of D is also equal to 1, and sorry, the in degree of C is not 1, the in degree of C is 2. So here you can see, if you consider this edge C, you can see that these two edges terminate at C. So the in degree of C is equal to 2. Okay, it is not 1. Okay, so let me give you the out degree of each vertex. Out degree of A is the number of edges with A as their initial vertex. Okay, so here you can see that if you consider these two edges, both these edges have A as the initial vertex. So that says the in degree of A is 2. Not in degree, the out degree of A is 2. The out degree of B is 1 because we have this edge. Okay, with A as the initial vertex, and the out degree of C is 0 because you can see that there is no edge with C as the initial vertex, and the out degree of D is equal to 2 because we have these two edges having D as the initial vertex. Okay, so we have this thing. Okay, and here again, if you add these, you get 5 here. Okay, 3, 4, 5, and if you add this thing, you get 5. And again, you can see that if you count the number of edges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is equal to 5. Okay, so we can generalize this idea anyway. So the thing is that okay, this slide, it discusses the in degree and the out degree. Okay, so I think the in degree and out degree is now clear, and let me end this video with this theorem. Okay, if you have a directed graph, then we have this relation. Okay, if you consider the integer of each and every vertex, and if you add them together, that will be equal to the integer, the out degree, the sum of the out degree of each and every vertex, and that will be equal to the number of edges in that graph. Okay, and that's what we saw here, right? If you add this, you get 5. If you add this, you get 5, and that is okay. These two quantities are equal, and again we can see that that is equal to the number of edges in that graph. Okay, so let me give the proof of this statement. The proof is a one-line proof. Okay, so it's a very simple proof, similar to the handshaking lemma. So here you can see that each edge element of P contributes exactly once to the in degree, okay, and once to the out degree. Okay, and that's what we saw here, right? So each edge is a directed one, each edge contributes once to the in degree, and each edge contributes once to the out degree. Okay, and because of that reason, we can see that that quantity is also equal to the number of edges. Okay, and that's the proof. Okay, so we continue with some more definition in the next video. So this is for this video. Okay.